We're going to talk about why two-man teams are relevant and if they're better than three-man teams, or why someone would use two-man teams instead of three-man teams. That's the main essence of this video. And a lot of people have been asking, what are the benefits of two-man teams? They see me using two-man teams all the time, and they see more and more people starting to use them, but they don't know why they're doing it. And people just think that three-mans are better, end of story, two-mans are irrelevant. But for the last 2 or 3 years, I've been proving that two-mans can be just as strong as three-mans. But then, how do you do it, and why is that the case? So the best answer that I've gotten is actually here from Anime Fever, who says, with a three-man team, there's much more room for mistake. When you use two-man teams like we do, you have to make every move mean something. Otherwise, you'll pay the price for it. Your defense has to be impeccable, and your ninja movements have to be neat, and lastly, your ninja tools have to be understood and managed well. I'll add that your resources have to be managed well as well. When you make one bad switch, or you don't utilize or get some value from one of your jutsus, you're really not going to do as well. So you have to be super efficient, and it forces you to be super efficient and to do really well and to think purposefully of what you're going to do, because you only get one shot. Every time you get one shot, right? Every single time you get one shot. So think about what you're doing. You have less room for error. But in the opposite end of that is, if you can become more efficient and you can pick apart and make your opponent less efficient because you have more of a chance of messing up in a three-man team, you actually get the advantage. So there's a big thing right there. If not, you will have a difficult time using two players, and I think that's why more people tend to use three characters. At first, it is more difficult, right? That's what I'm saying. But in the long term, it's actually a lot easier. It's a lot more stable. You have more stability, and I think it's just a lot better, a lot more fun, and I'll explain to you why in a bit. You can switch more, and it leaves more room for mistakes and less time to have to think about your next move. It doesn't clog up your bandwidth, right? So when you're on the computer, right, or yeah, like let's say you're on a PC or a computer and you're doing like 10 things. You're on the internet, browsing, you're listening to music, you got something downloading in the background, you're editing a video, you're doing all this other stuff, you got all these chats open. All of a sudden, right, your computer starts to chug. It's because your RAM is being taken up too much, and then it starts overheating, right? And you don't do as well. So just being very clear and purposeful with your intent can help you have a massive advantage over your opponent. I think there's a lot more to it too, but this is the best explanation I've ever heard, and I added some things of my own. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. Peace.
Shall we begin?